who are actually developing some software online, product for our organization. Once it is over, then what happened? Then my team, people, my colleagues who are joined with me were, have the knowledge of, textile production and everything. But I have never worked with on those areas. So I was lack of skill on that area. So the organization thought that I am not the suitable one to put in the production process. So they put in the me in the quality control department, and I started working as a quality engineer there. So you can find that I was a textile engineer. I was given the responsibility of, maintenance department, which is mainly a mechanical job, right? Machine maintenance is a job of a mechanical engineer, but I was given, okay. Then I was given the responsibility of the functional consultant in the software development. Then I was given the responsibility of the quality control engineer. So you can easily relate that there is no relationship between the all these areas, right? Apart from that, these are where the subjects, these subjects were taught in my syllabus when I was studying my engineering. But fortunately, I learned the quality control thing in my during my course. So I had the book with me. So I started looking into this. So once I start working in the quality control field, and I got developed my interest in that field. Then I started looking into the different types of the process improvement and other things. So you can really consider that from a textile engineer, I was just, my career was just shifting from the textile to mechanical, then computer science, then quality engineer. Then I thought that no, it will not go like that. So I need to do something in my life. So I need to have some formal study in the quality engineering. Then I, cleared the admission test of Indian Statistical Institute, completed my MTech from there, right? But unfortunately or fortunately, I didn't got any, get any job in the field of the manufacturing domain. So I have to shift to the software quality because of the demand of that study, because there is no demand of quality engineer for a manufacturing organization. So I had to shift to the software industry. That there is no choice for me, right? So career, my discussing all this point to you is that career is not stagnant, right? So don't think that I am a mechanical engineer, so I will have to continue as a mechanical engineer, or I am a civil engineer, I will have to continue as a civil engineer. I am an electronics engineer, I will have to continue as electronics engineer. No, there are opportunities, there are cross domain studies. So you can do that, and you can always shift your career from your domain to other domain, right? And even by whenever you are having your mechanical degree in the mechanical BTech degree, you can easily clear the different tests conducted by the different software company, have the software contemporary knowledge of the software, and you can directly join as in the different software organizations also. Also you can join in the other organization. So career is now, career is in your hand, and each and every field of the study has now become very collaborative in nature, and you can easily shift from one field to another field. It is your choice which field you want to continue, right? So always seek for the opportunity, always look for the opportunity. And I'll one point I'll mention to you that to be successful in your career, right, you will have to love whatever you are doing, right? Unless until you love your work, you cannot succeed in that field, right? So my mantra for success is very simple. First thing is that success is not a something that the end point of a race, right? So success is not a destination of the life, right? And success is only a journey. Okay, wherever you go, you complete it. Wherever you go, people appreciate your activity, right? And wherever you do, whatever you do it very passionately, then only people will appreciate you, right? So what if my mantra for success is do whatever you like, and identify someone who is willing to pay for that, right? So whenever you do something for whatever your passion, and get in the return you are earning some handful money, then you will find that you are feeling very good. And as the field of work is your passion, you will do it in with your all effectiveness and efficiency, and definitely every each and everyone will appreciate, and you will rise in your career. That is the only mantra. So choice of your work is very important for you, but at the same time you cannot choose something, right, which is no demand. So whenever you are choosing something, keep your options open, right? Out of four, you select out of 4 or 5 areas which you feel these are very good for me, then identify opportunity within those areas, right? Because all areas won't have similar opportunities in future. Okay, so any question till now?
No, sir, it's fine.
Okay, so I'll come to this point. Okay, so there are, whenever you are looking for now I'll come to this slide later on. So first let me discuss that current scenario. Okay, everybody knows that current scenario is not favorable, right? There is a, everywhere you are finding that there are job cuts is happening, scopes are limited scopes. Okay, everything, each and every day we are getting negative vibes and negative news from across the globe, right? So maybe we are feeling like the situation is not good and not in our favor, but trust me, whenever it's not a new thing at all, right? Each and if you closely look into the growth of the industry, particularly I'm not talking about the global sector, because India is driven, though India is driven by the global sector, but Indian industry sector has a its own way of going forward, right? So after each and every 10 years, okay, you'll find that there are some issues in the Indian industries, right? In the year 2008-9, okay, there were issue due to the global recession, but global recession didn't have much impact on Indian industry. But in the 2010 there is a major impact after which is called, actually known as the aftershock of the global recession. Even now 2020, after just 10 years, it is similar kind of the problem we are facing. Maybe it is termed as due to COVID, it is we are facing this kind of these challenges. But I'm quite sure if COVID was not there, still we had to face this kind of the situation. This is a cyclic thing. This is a actually absolutely happening in a cyclic fashion. And ups and downs are very common in our life, also in the life cycle of the industry, and also in the business life cycle. So it's a common thing. So, and we have nothing to do, right? We don't have it to do anything, and nothing is our control, right? We cannot control this situation. So it is not a worth decision for us to discuss, spend time, or rather I'll say that waste our time in discussing that what will happen, what will happen in the future, right? So it is the time for us to sharpen our skill and competencies to equip ourselves for the future. Okay, so once in the 2008, all software companies were going through the recession. Okay, so I like the word told by our CEO at that time, Mr. Sanjay Sharma, that I know it's the recession, we don't have enough business, but we want our employee to invest their time in the learning, because only learning is something that will repay you during the favorable time. Okay, so concentrate, define, identify the areas where you want to uh, you know gather more knowledge, develop your action plan, and start learning, because there is no substitution of learning, and there is no substitution for hard work, right? So we did the same thing. We don't have enough business, but we sharpen our skill. We learned a lot. We learned different tools and techniques, and then the scenario changed. And once the scenario changed, there was a huge demand in the market. So as we are equipped for that situation, we started delivering. But many of our competitors failed to do that, and they actually abolished from the market. So that is the reality, and that is the hard reality. So my request to all of you to identify the areas where you want to improve your skill, competency, and start learning on that particular area. Spend time on that particular area, and I'll assure you that one this thing will not continue for a long time, right? So I'm assuring you today that definitely your learning will pay you. Okay, will be. So please concentrate on learning. So now once you have done learning, so there are different types of opportunity in front of you. There will be different types of opportunity, differently, definitely. So whenever you are starting your career, you have two different types of the choice. First is the you can have the job in the startup organization, or you will have some mid-sized company or big companies. There are different pros and cons of joining in the different organizations. So whenever we are working for the startups, there will be as these are the startups, and there everything is not very structured. You'll have to work hard for gaining the knowledge working there, because there will be nobody for guiding you, right? There will be no structured information. Okay, but they may pay you. And another big problem issue with the startup is that there is no stability or flexibility in the startup organization. So you'll have to work hard. You'll earn lot, but there is no stability. Another thing is very important, as you will be doing for everything, you will be doing by yourself. So your learning will be curve will be very steep and high. So you learn a lot whenever you are working in the startup. Sorry, whenever you start your job, in the mediocre company or mid-sized company, this is a very win-win situation, because mid-sized and mediocre companies have their process, have the people to guide you, and you will be able to apply your learning into the day-to-day activity, because from the very beginning you'll be given the responsibility of working independently. But whenever you are joining in the big companies, you know maybe there are stabilities, maybe there are different types of flexibilities, maybe there are some benefits, extra benefits, but there is no freedom of working. Okay, everything is structured, everything is they have given in you have to do it in this way only. You have no authority to experiment. You have no authority to do any something in different way, because they have already said that each and everything work practice, and there are procedures, processes defined for doing a particular type of the activity. So everything is fine there, but your learning curve will be not very steep, and your learning will be limited. So once you want to change from a big company to some other company, it becomes very difficult, because whenever you are working from 5 to 6 years, the knowledge level you will reach to the big working for with the big company will be very much more less compared to the mediocre or the startup company. So it is, but I'm leaving it to yourself, because you cannot decide that whether you will be joining in a startup or big company. Depends upon that which opportunity you are getting and which opportunity you are taking up. So these are the different pros cons of three different types of the organization where you'll be joining. So now I'll come to those slides later. So now, what are the things you need to do, while building your career, right? So whenever you joined in some company, right? So first thing is that focus on yourself. So start doing from this time only, that you need to understand that what will be your career path, right? What you want to be. So if somebody asks you that what you want to be in the next 5 years of your career, so what will be your response? So think in that way, that from the first year I want to do this, in the second year I want to do this. So please prepare a plan of action for your career. Okay, so maybe whenever we are joining in the organization, you can find it out that who will be the individual contributor, or what are the things you support required from the management. Then how you update yourself with the rapidly changing technology, right? So that is very important, right? I'll tell you a story, right? Kodak is a was a company, right? Kodak was a company which is producing different types of the films, different quality of the films, and it was the number one company in the market. So they don't have any problem. They don't have any business ups and downs. Only they have the upsell. Continually, they were capturing the market, film market, and they're the number one company in the organization. But still, there is a but, and there is a challenge for the Kotak. What happened? That is that there was a twist. The digital camera came into the market and totally swept the business of the Kotak. Right now, we are capturing photo in our digital cameras, right, and storing those in our memory card. So, and we don't need any photo film right now. So, Kotak is completely swept from the market. So, this is called the disruption, business disruption due to the technology change. So has Kodak was for continually focusing on the research and development, and continue to improve their business vision, business mission, and shifting their business as per the requirement of change of technology. So they would have been in the market, but they are not in the market. That is the only reason they did not embrace, right, paid any attention to the change of technology. Similarly, there are different examples where technology completely ruined the business of some companies, right? They were doing pretty well in their market, but sudden change in the technology disrupted their business. So Kodak is only one example, right? Now you can easily see that business of the YOLO taxi, right, is also now going down due to the cab taxis, right? Ola, Uber, etc. So there are so many examples where technology completely changed the way of doing business. Okay, so we need to always look into the change of the technology, rapidly change of the scenario which is going around us, and what will be your action item, what will be your action plan. You need to continually change, because I have already told you that career is not a stagnant. So you need to develop a skill called the lifelong learning skill. Okay, so you'll be continually learning mode, and you will continually upgrade yourself throughout your career, so that you will be current according to the different technologies, different changing scenario, and adapt those scenario, adapt those changes, so that you can sustain in the continually change environment. And I'll rest assure you that change is only the constant in the future. It will continue to do happen, and there will be much more disruption of technology, much more disruption in the business scenario, and we will have to accept it, because if we don't accept, we'll be perished, right? Also, another thing, when we are working in the company, focus your career, okay, and align your career, as per the company requirement. I'll give you one classic example on that. So, for example, I can have different types of the aspiration, right? I want to do data analysis. I want to do analytics. I want to do Hadoop. my inclination is towards the all the data kind of the thing. But if our company vision and mission is something different, okay, so company will not go into that area. So I will have to be sustained in the market. Maybe that is my passion, that is my area, but I'll also have to consider that what are the areas companies looking asking me to contribute, what are the areas companies thinking me I can contribute. So that is also very important. So we need to align our career as per the requirement of the organization. So these are the things that we need to do. Okay. So what are the career resources? your college and school, all the alma maters, okay, you can be the can participate into the different network. You have different types of the books. You have now time has changed, so you are having different types of the learning resources available in the internet. And you can always balance your work and home front. So I'll not ask you to study continually, study each and every time you need to do study, right? No, I'll not ask you, because this is the student life, right? So this is the most valuable time in your life. So you should always enjoy, and you have the birthright to enjoy in your have enjoyment in your student life. So yes, bunk some classes, right? So if you don't bunk some classes, you will have to repentant like me that I have never bunked a class, right? Because I was a very goody boy in my college time. So I was afraid of bunking my classes. Okay, but I have seen my friends are bunking the classes. So that is the enjoyment. They have bunked and they are simply staying at the hostel playing cricket. So that is the something enjoyment they have. They that is the something they enjoyed so at that point of time, and now I have to repent that why I have not done this. So you should have do such kind of the thing, have enjoyment, and at the same time you continue to study and continue to identify different areas which are important nowadays, which are in the coming days. So these are the things that you need to do, and always try to remember that if you pay attention, if you pay effort, in your student life, it will be paid off in your career at any point of your career. So nothing, whatever you are learning today, don't think that this will not required at any point of time. But anything you are learning today will pay you at its own time. So whatever you are finding interesting, learn it, right? So now I will discuss that what are the things that are very important, becoming that will become important in the next few years. So can you see my screen?
Yes, sir.
Yes. So I have taken this, extract from Fiki. Okay, so I'll share with you. So this is the, thing I have received from Fiki, and this is done by the Ernst and Youngs. So they have predicted for the workforce, because most of you will come out in the next year or 2022. So I have taken this report only. Okay, so what are the changes that will going to happen in the next few years, that on 50% of the total people job which are currently there, say we are doing the job 100% job, okay, we are people are working 100% in the job. So 50% of it will continue, okay, 30% of the people will be deployed in the different skill set. Means you will have to learn, we will have to learn something which we are not doing, right? So 30% job will be description will be changed, and 9% of the people will be deployed to the job which is not existing nowadays. Okay, so what are those? So that is the total 9 plus 37 means 46%. There's a 46% people will be shifting to the different types of the job, and that is not a joke, and that is a paradigm shift that is going to happen, and it is bound to happen because of current scenario. So what are those areas? Now let me to discuss that what what are the those areas? First, I am coming to the information technology and business process management. Okay, so it includes the computer and all the IT engineers. So only, you know, 20 to 30% people who are doing their job will be continue to similar kind of the job. 60 to 65% people will be deployed to a job which they are not doing, so they need to reskill themselves, and there will be 10 to 20% new jobs will be created. Okay, different types of means new job means this type of the activities are not do not exist today, but this will be existing in future. So what are those jobs? What are the new ro- roles? What are these 60 to 65% jobs, and what is this 10 to 20% jobs? So those jobs will include VFX artist, means that it is all about the, you know, graphic designing. Then coming to the computer vision engineering, then wireless network specialist, embedded system programmer, data scientist, data architecture, artificial intelligence research scientist, RPA developer, means robotic process automation developer, language processing specialist, deployment engineer, 3D modeling engineer, 3D designer, cloud architect, migration engineer, Android iOS developer, and digital marketing. So why these things are coming, right? These things are coming because first thing is that currently we are moving from, you know, on premises server to the cloud server. You are in the you are working or studying the computer science or information technology, so you know me better than me that you why we are migrating from on premises to cloud, right? Then whenever it is in the cloud, so there are requirement of the specialist who requirement of them, employees or workforce who are very efficient in designing the cloud architecture. Also there will be constant requirement of the engineer who can migrate the different types of the, data, different types of the application from on premises, from different application, different areas to the cloud. There will be requirement of infrastructure management team, right, who will be maintaining the cloud architecture, cloud application, everything. And one of the most important thing that is requirement that is not mentioned here is the requirement of information security specialist or internet security specialist or cyber security specialist. This is one of the key requirement that is going to happen, because we are continually increasing, continually there is an increasing trend in our dependency for the digital transaction, digitally, money transfer, digital activity, each and everything we are going to we are habituated with the digital, doing each and everything digitally. So all this needs a continuous security structure. So there will be huge requirement of the specialist who have the specialization in the cyber security domain, information security domain. So that includes the specialist who can test cyber security, who can audit cyber security, who have experience in development of the product which incorporate the security features within it. Okay, so this is another important aspect of new feature technologies. Then coming to the wireless network specialist, why wireless network specialist is required, because we are in the industry 3.0, right? So we'll be moving to the industry 4.0. The major, first and foremost major requirement of industry 4.0 is the wireless networking, right? And we are planning to have the smart city. The basic of the smart city is the wireless networking. So there will be a huge requirement of the wireless networking engineers, and not only the engineers, right? They will be the specialists, they will be the SMEs, that is the subject matter expert, will be going to different visit different areas, different industries, and resolve the wireless network related issues at any point of the time. So there will be a huge requirement of the wireless networking engineer. Then coming to the embedded systems. Embedded systems is not a new one. So there are areas where embedded systems are we are using in embedded systems. Okay, so in the future technologies, when there will be industry 4.0, obviously we are slowly entering in the industry 4.0 era. So whenever it is industry 4.0, then there will be most of the machines will be CNC machines, and it will be operated by the different types of the automated system. So embedded system will play a vital or pivotal role in the industry 4.0. Then coming to the data scientist and data architect. So if you go into the look into the current requirement, you will find that there is a huge requirement of the data scientist. I personally, I am not convinced that whether how much data scientist is required or not, or whether what will be doing with this huge amount of the data, but there is a requirement of the data scientist. So if there is a requirement of the data scientist and there is a forecast that it will continue to grow, so we need to, if we are interested in mathematics, if we are interested in the statistics, and if we can develop some sort of the computer skill to solve the mathematical or statistical problem, then we can easily become data scientist, which is a has a good requirement, and also payment of the data scientists are quite higher than the ordinary software engineers. So who is a data scientist? Data scientist is a person whose knowledge whose statistical and mathematical knowledge is less than that of a statistician or a mathematician, and whose programming knowledge is less than that of the software engineer, but who knows both of this, that is the statistics, mathematics, and application, that is the software engineering knowledge, they can easily become data scientist. So what are the requirements to be for the data scientist? For to be a data scientist, you need to have some skills in database. I'll say that preferably in the SQL, non-SQL, okay, and also in the sometimes MongoDB, Hadoop, this kind of the data scientist databases. Also, they need to have some ability for handling the structured and unstructured data. Apart from this, they need to have some idea about different visualization tools like Tableau, Power BI, Qlik View, and there are different tools and other tools and techniques. RSign is another tool. So these are the visualization tool. Also, they need to have some skill in the programming language, like some programming language, more specifically Python or R. That are the requirement. Okay, so if you possess those requirements, and if you build up your want to build up your career in the field of the data science and artificial intelligence, so you can do that. This is not a difficult task at all. You have time now, you can spend your time. Okay, so you can download Python, and that is the Anaconda from the internet. It is a free software or free programming language you can install into your machine, but you need to have some high end configuration for running the Python and all these things. Also, for data manipulation, you can have rapid miner, you can have Alteryx, so you can download all these things. All the community editions are available, so you can do it, and you can start learning. There are plenty of literatures and plenty of courses available over the internet. So you start learning on these things by yourself. And I know that your CDC team already started some initiative related to data science and data analytics. So I'll request you to attend those classes taken by your teacher Dr. Das and others team. So please have look into those, attend those classes. Definitely you will get some insight on this. Also, you can have different literature from the internet and start learning it. There is no harm of learning anything. So once you start learning it, you'll find it, it's a very easy. Python is not a very difficult thing. It's very easy.